This is the regular meeting of the East Long Meadow Board of Assessors. It's Tuesday, February 16th, 2016 at 4:30 p.m. We have LCAT recording the meeting, and we have making a recording for our minutes, and there's no one else recording the meeting. The first agenda item is to review the open and executive session minutes from the meeting of February 2nd, 2016, and our executive session from the meeting of February 9th, 2016.
Mr. Chairman, I've reviewed all three of the minutes presented by the staff and have found them to be in order, both the two sessions, open meeting and executive session of February 2nd, and also the executive session of February 9th, and I move that they be approved as presented.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the second agenda item is to review and sign two warrants. First one is a fiscal year 2016 supplemental real estate tax in the amount of $40,788.78. Diane, what is the supplemental?
It's for any property that increased in value more than 50% and received an occupancy certificate at some point during the fiscal year. So most of these receive their occupancy somewhere between August and December, and so they are being assessed a per diem tax on the new value.
Okay, and the other one is the fiscal year 2016 supplemental CPA surcharge in the amount of $419. So we have there's a almost 41,000 in tax, but only $419 in the CP goes to the CPA account on these. Okay, the next agenda item is to review the LA3 sales report for the month of January. I note that the LA3 is a public record document which is filed with the state, and that it is subject to, that items on it are subject to change. As we find out more and more, and find out about details concerning some of these sales. Any comments from the board on the LA3?
I'm just looking at them now. By the way, did you see the listed increase for East Long Meadow from 14 to 15 in the national publications?
The listed what?
Price, our increase for East Long Meadow?
I did see something just recently.
Yeah.
It was even in the newspaper.
18%, it said, according to them.
That's substantial.
Well, that will be reviewed at some detail in April as we look for the values for next year.
When I was doing the deeds, you will find one that's 1.29. I did find out that that was a short sale, so I have coded that out now in our computer. And then there is 1/3 from the bottom at 0.82. I think it's more of a special use property because of the area and it's more for horses, so.
Well, that's a substantial difference. And it's a single family.
Mm-hmm. You'll notice a commercial property at 0.52.
Yeah, I didn't, I saw a different sale price for that.
You did?
Yeah.
This is what the deed came through
Okay.
with.
Yeah, that one will need that one will need looking at, but
That's,
it's an important clue as to value.
is that the office, the newer office place?
Yep.
Yeah, how can that be?
I
Like
was
3
quite.
offices, 4 offices there.
They are taking the people who bought it are taking over the whole building, from what I've been told.
Really?
they're
Yeah, but what the-
expanding.
I wonder if it included all the furniture and fixtures and so forth.
I don't know that
No, it's
answer.
cleared out. Was
it?
person who was in there moved and
Mhm.
bought his own place, and the other
Mhm.
person moved out and has his own place too, quite large
Mhm.
place. And I shouldn't say it, most of it's empty.
Really?
Yeah, because I didn't know those two particular parties I know moved, and they were empty when I was over there.
Well, that one definitely has to,
It's amazing, huh?
yeah, absolutely.
Other than that, I'm all set with it.
Okay, the next thing is to review the building permit report for the month of January. And I note that it contains the usual collection of solar projects.
There's one new dwelling.
Yeah, getting a new dwelling in January is unusual.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was mild and winter hadn't quite hit us
Ah.
until this past week.
Yeah. That's up in that new development.
Mm-hmm.
And the solar, anything, if it's on the roof and the homeowner owns it, and the homeowner owns both it and the house, then it's tax exempt under a very specific statute.
Mm-hmm.
For 20 years. And after 20 years, they're probably not too useful.
Well, they don't have to own it, they lease it
Yeah,
also. They don't
I
have to
know.
own it,
Oh, they don't have to own the solar,
right? They don't have to own it. Some
uh,
people buy it, some people just lease it.
the lease is a question that's come up in assessors' meetings.
but it's
Because-
undecided, we aren't
Right, it's undecided, we have no,
We're not gonna
there's no
pioneer
policy.
that one.
No. Okay. I have no further comments on the building permits.
Yeah, me either.
And we have a draft warrant article to be submitted if necessary. This concerns the mapping, which used to be budgeted in the DPW.
That's correct. I did contact the Appropriations Committee. They have not really resolved that issue as of yet, and I did explain to the chairman that, we want to protect ourselves because this is something mandated by the state, and just because it was in another department's budget, if we have to take on the responsibility and they haven't made a decision, we didn't want to miss the warrant article
Right.
deadline.
Because if they do resolve it, we can always take no action.
Right, or we could withdraw if we have enough time, because if it doesn't make the warrant,
Yes.
it takes a while for it to get printed. So
Well,
I
that's
will
fine.
have this, unless anyone has anything to add, to get submitted to the Board of Selectmen no later than the 1st of March.
Looks fine to me.
Okay, we have chapter line tax lien for 61A and 61B.
As the board is aware that we are working on an abatement application with chapter land, and we have made it contingent that the lien has to be ready to be in place before we finalize any abatement application. So this is a lien for all 94.18 acres with a portion under 61A and a portion under 61B.
And so described on there.
Yep, the entire parcel. So if the board sees fit to sign that, and
Lien, okay, all conditions have been met.
correct.
Your intent to contact the taxpayer for the fee to
I have
report?
already, I'm having this ready to go, so when the fee comes in, until then, the abatement is just on hold. I did explain to him that if with the contingency of waiting for this fee, if he doesn't get it to us by the 3-month period, then the assessors would not be able to act on his abatement.
Okay.
And we'll act on it right away once once the lien is taken care of. Okay, we have correspondence from Vision, which is our consultant for computer services.
And they usually have a user seminar every May, but they have decided to postpone it until the fall, so they're thinking sometime in September, which I thought was kind of nice for them to let us know, because most people start planning their staffing and their schedules around this conference. And then you have 3 planning board decisions.
Do any of these planning board decisions have anything to do with this, require action from this office?
Well, as we always mention, there's 2 home offices. We make sure that they submit the forms of list, and we have 1 new business, a barber shop, and we will send our personal property specialist out to review all assets.
Okay.
Is there any new business or old business?
Nope.
No?
Okay, then I move that we go into executive session to review our interview schedule and questions, to deal with statutory exemptions, with some motor vehicle excise abatements, and of course the big one would be the fiscal year 16 abatement applications, which were received last month. And then we have some notices of appellate tax board action which need to be discussed.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, this requires a roll call vote. Mrs. Saulnier?
Yes.
Mr. Grudgeon?
Yes.
Mr. Johnston? Yes.